We're going to give you some door prizes. We're going to, yeah, we actually are. We're going to let somebody, in fact, you come up here, Rockets, and when did you want to do our song?
Yeah, it's a little too late, I think, because I would have needed to announce it. So.
Well, you can, we don't need to let it go. We can do it.
Oh, come on, Rockets, get up there. You don't need to pass now.
All right. In fact, if you want to come and draw for me, you can come up here and draw the names for us. Okay, now this is special tea. You need to take this and put it up. One day, this is going to be a valuable commodity because it's got America Can Be Free on it. It was made especially for us. And
but it'll be a past tense.
this was the beginning of the Republic. America Can Be Free was the beginnings of the Republic. And the teaching that brought us to where we're at today. So it could be very important. Plus we got some CDs for you.
These CDs, I'm finishing them up and I'll just pass them out to everybody. Okay, they're from Alice Slade. It's Being Healthy. Being Healthy is Simple. It's a really good CD. Got a lot of good information on it.
Fantastic.
Hey, you want to call them out?
Let the Rockets draw them out and we'll have an independent party so I won't get accused.
You are in there.
Lorian Albert Foley.
All right.
Raise your right hand.
Lorian, you're the winner. You're the proud winner.
Okay? Because we got 10 of them.
This is good, healthy tea. Some of it. Huh?
Don't drink it, save it.
And who is this? Ann Johnson.
Ann Johnson. Raise your hand real high so we can see you.
Mark Justin.
All right.
Carrie Augustine.
All right.
Gideon Thomas.
All right.
Jeannie Costello.
All right.
Thelma Holloway.
Hey, all right.
Paul Sellers.
All right.
Phil Tepley.
All right.
One more? One more. Last one. It is David Gerald.
All right. That is the only batch that was ever made under that label. So just remember that.
And it's alkalizing.
It is actually, it's healthy tea. It's Jonathan Winters, I think, is the name of the company that makes it. Yeah, we wouldn't give you unhealthy stuff. Not intentionally. Are you having fun with those dogs?
Yeah.
The Texas stuff? Oh man, that was hilarious. It is absolutely unbelievable. And we're going to publish them so everybody can read them because they don't know, they don't have a clue at the aggravation I went through with that bunch. And then they sit out there on the calls and tell them, oh, they hadn't done anything and it's all me. And well, read the documents for yourself. Anyway. Well, I'll try my best to manage this afternoon. I almost ate myself into a coma. But I think I can manage. Yeah, now y'all know why we have so much trouble losing weight in Alabama.
Keep going to Colby's.
Yeah, keep going to Colby's. Oh man, it's rough on the diet. Come on. Okay, we've covered acknowledgement acceptance form and the complete the grantee and signees update. And the next one is the declaration of homestead. Remember we talked about the word occupy, how important the word occupy is in law? Well, this is what this does. It shows that we are occupying. Okay. And it's just basically called the Declaration of Homestead. And you put at the top up there, you address where it goes to. The county tax office address. Now I don't know what you call it in your county, so I don't have a generic name. Here they call it the probate judge. In Florida they call it the clerk of the court. So I have no idea what you call it in your state. So you got to figure out what they call it and put it in there. And the front, that's from the owner of the land, you, or the person that you're working for. And you put their legal name. And when I say full legal name, I mean full legal name. I don't mean what are abbreviations for? Abbreviations are for corporations. Don't abbreviate. You'll also notice that in our zip code we put it in brackets.
Right.
And we put non-domestic without the U.S. in there. Why? You took your land out of the U.S. Kind of important to know. You take your land out of the United States Corporation. This is another acknowledgement that you've done that. And it's a very simple thing. It says, I or / we do hereby declare that I / we claim the land located at the address below as my or our homestead and domicile. The deed to this land has been acknowledged, delivered, accepted. I / we are in possession and do occupy this land. This land is held in fee simple within land patent number so-and-so. Isn't that simple? But it's to the point. It gets to the point. We don't have any legalese in my stuff. I used to do that stuff. I used to write 200-page briefs and send them into court, and the old judge would look at it and just throw it to the side over there. And I learned it don't make any difference if you do that junk or not, as long as you make your case. And it's very simple. You got all of the information on the legal description, street address, and the grantees. Now, this is if you got 2 grantees. If you don't need but one. But a lot of times husband and wife is the reason I do that. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is the jurat for the notary to do. And it's simple. Is that a hard form to fill out? All of my forms are like this. Yes?
What if we're not actually living in our home?
You need to be living in your home. Has it been taken or something?
No, I'm renting it out to some friends.
Well, you're still occupying it.
Okay.
You remember the story about the cow?
Okay, so...
Bill's got 40 acres and it's occupied, but it's occupied by one of his cows.
All right, but if we say it's our domicile, does that not mean that we're living there?
Yes, it should, yeah. So, I don't have an answer to that question because that's true. You shouldn't be living there if you're going to claim it. You can't homestead a property that you don't live in.
Am I jumping the gun, Tim, or are we going to tell us what we do with each one of these? Are we going to be all sent?
Yeah, I'm going to show you step by step exactly what to do with them here shortly. I'm going through the forms, and if you have any questions about the forms, please ask. You can see how easy they are to fill. All of these forms are very simple to fill out. It tells you in red what to put there.
Tim?
Yes.
That isn't what Tom said last time you were here,
What's that?
about the homestead.
You can't homestead a property you don't live in.
Okay, so what
You
about,
only have one homestead. That's all you can have.
okay, so what do we do with the rest of our properties then?
Well, you'll just have to do the grant, you'll have to skip this step. If you don't live in it, you'll have to skip this because it's not your homestead.
Okay.
Okay? You can't even, Homestead Exemption Act is very clear that you cannot homestead property you don't live on.
If you have multiple acreages and they're,
You have to pick one as your homestead.
pick one, if you
Yeah, the rest of them you can't do this on.
grow corn on one, you have pigs on one, you have
Yeah,
cows.
but that's occupation, but it's not homestead. When you homestead, it means you live there. That's your domicile, that is your main residence. Okay, that's what the Homestead Act was for, is to limit the property taxes on the main property that somebody lived on. That's what it was for originally. But if this is a declaration of homestead, you only put that on the property you live on. And that's good questions. I appreciate y'all bringing them up. Y'all keep me straight. But anyway, so the declaration of homestead is only for the land you actually live on. It doesn't work on rentals.
So by not having this step on other properties, does it limit our?
No.
Does it limit?
It has no effect on your land patent. But a homestead has special requirements. Okay? This is very powerful to have homestead protection on the property you live on. Because when you homestead that land, you have additional strength in law to keep people off of it you don't want on it, and it's important for the main residence you live in for you to do this. But if it's a rental property or you're not living on the property, you can't do this step.
Tim, let's say that you do that, and then you find another piece of property to be your homestead. You have to do anything to take that one out as being your homestead?
You can choose the one you want, but you can only have one.
So if you, what I'm saying is, if you bought another piece of property where you wanted to live,
Yeah,
you do a land tax.
yeah, you sure,
Okay.
absolutely, and you can do a homestead on the one you live in. You can change it
Okay.
if you like. I mean, you can you can homestead anywhere you want to homestead. So if you sell a house and buy another one, you move it to that one. But the one you live in, you should do the homestead on. Okay. Okay.
So to be clear, if you own two homes, and you
Public
live in one,
notice.
that's homestead. The other home, you still can land patent, you just skip the homestead document.
Right. Trying to find the next one. This computer is, I'm having trouble with this crazy thing again. Yesterday, I clicked, you remember when I clicked on that file and it had through number 5? After I got out here, when I clicked on it again, it had all 10. I don't know what's going on with this crazy computer. Now I've got a file that's not even there on this thumb drive that was on there this morning. It's hidden somewhere.
The cutting edge of life.
I guess. I don't know what's going on. It's sure aggravating because I had that on there just earlier this morning. I guess. We're doing something. We're doing something right, I can tell you. It's craziness. I had a computer one time. And me and Senator Geiger were working on some documents. And Warren was over there, and there were several of us over there working on some documents when we were developing our freedom document process, tweaking it. And I would go in that computer and I would change something and I would save it. And then I'd print the document and it wouldn't print what I saved. It would print what was on there before. And I kept telling him, I said, I don't know what's going on here. And so Senator Geiger knows a little bit about computers. He said, that computer, it's impossible for it to do that. I said, come here. I said, sit down right there. I said, I want you to make a change on that document. And he did. He made the change. He saved it. And then he printed it. And guess what? It didn't change it.
What was that before we put the program on it?
No, that's the old computer I used to have. That's when I had that, what was that new Windows program everybody hated? Vista. Yeah, oh man, I threw that computer away.
Well, we should wipe it out and put a reasonable.
I hated that computer so bad I wanted to run over it.
Did you?
No, I gave it to somebody I didn't like. It reminds me of a story one time. I probably told y'all the chocolate story. I had a lady one time that I took a job in a county and for a while, and she just absolutely hated me and didn't understand why she hated me so bad from day one. Didn't even know the lady, but she did, and she tried always. She was in charge of the records of the county and did the accounting for the county, the budget and everything. And she was always telling me to do stuff that would get me in trouble. Well, I went to her for advice because she's the one that kept the records and she's the one that's supposed to know how to do things, and I did it exactly like she said. And then I'd get in trouble with the county commissioners, and then she'd swear up and down she didn't tell me that. She says, well, found out later, a few months later, that her husband had applied for the job and I got it over him and she didn't like it. That was the problem. So she harassed me for, I mean, all kind of ways over the next year or so. So I thought about that, and I thought about it. So how in the world can I stop the harassment and still, not, get along with the lady? So I decided to go start bringing her chocolates. So I went out, and every week I'd go buy her a big old box of chocolates and take her down to her. And she loved chocolate. And so after I did that a few times, she started smiling at me and treating me nice. And I just smiled back. What she didn't know is that I wasn't taking them to her because I liked her. I was taking them to her to make her fat. And it worked. She gained about 40 pounds. So who won that one? Man, that's terrible, isn't it? Now you know why I'm being punished.
Was that done in love, brother?
Absolutely. I loved what I was doing to that woman. She was wicked. Oh, Lord. Come on here.
Is that as you sow, you shall reap?
Yeah, I reaped too. Yeah, I gained 40 pounds too, though. That's the problem. So I did reap. Oh, Lord. There it is. Now, how can it be on one and not on the other? Because all of it was identical. This is crazy. Okay. The next document is called the Public Notice of Land Patent. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for you, Kim. You took care of that lady through chocolate. What about that person, that particular woman who likes to slander you online?
Oh, well, I thought about it a lot. What I did is I just sicked the hounds of hell on her. I just prayed God take care of the problem. That woman is so deceived. She's just messed up in the head. I didn't call any names.
I didn't say a name, sir.
She's just a wicked woman. She's just a wicked woman. I can't help it. Yeah.
She's got a selfish.
I prayed for her for a long time, and I said, God, sometimes you just have to turn your enemies over to the powers that be. Just let God deal with them, because she's just absolutely, she is hell bent on destroying this republic. I believe that she works for the government. I believe she is an agent. I can't prove that, and I don't have any evidence to that fact except through her behavior, and her behavior absolutely indicates she works for somebody. That's the only thing that makes any sense.
I just have had some people that have been really interested, and they
Well,
unfortunately came across some of her stuff.
over 6 months ago, I opened up an investigation. Mark and Jeff, they all know about it, and Edna knows all about it, and some of the rest of y'all probably know about it, that we opened up a full investigation. And I went to Congress and I said, listen, I said, I want you to open up an investigation. I said, I want you to fully investigate all these allegations against me. I said, from whatever source, it don't matter who it is. I said, they claim they've got evidence. I want you to fully investigate it. And I said, I don't care if you find me at fault. I want it publicly stated. Exactly what I did. That's been 6 months ago. I'm still waiting. Told everybody in the country, it's open. Bring your evidence. It's still open. If any of you have evidence, bring it.
The understanding I have is the only evidence that's been presented is just hearsay by emails that I read of this, that, or that.
That's all that was ever presented. And it was so ridiculous that the House of Representatives looked at it and they said, this is just absolutely nuts. There wasn't even any evidence whatsoever. Just, it was rumors. People were talking. That's their evidence. Okay. Yeah, we have. How many? Stand up and tell how many documents we have had presented, and let somebody else hear it. Now, this is our acting Senate Pro Temp.
Well, and I also chair the governance committee, which oversees all these sort of things. And they would present those documents to us. We've had none. No documents, in fact.
I've seen all kinds of stuff documented on the Sarah website.
Oh, I know. I was really surprised about some of it too. I didn't even know about it until I read it on there.
It's amazing what you find out about yourself.
The one I really like though is the chip in my brain. That's my favorite. I guess that's one of my favorites.
Don't you wish you'd make it a little smarter?
It's not my fault.
Yeah, it's not my fault. I don't know who in the world. Somebody's got entirely too much time on their hands. It's a.
Not my fault.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that junk. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't want to run into this, but I have a burning question here.
Yes.
Somebody in Minnesota who brought this to my attention.
Good.
It had to do with a definition in the Webster Dictionary about land patent and who and how the land got conveyed in land
Yes.
patent. And in there, it only said that it could be conveyed only to a single man. Like a man.
I don't know.
He's worried because he wants his land to be conveyed to him and his wife.
I don't see where that's a problem.
You know, and that's what I was wondering.
In our world today, well, how are you going to? That's like back years ago. They didn't even let women vote.
Right.
I'll let you go tell your wife she can't vote. I'm not. I'm not going to tell her. That's right. My mama didn't raise no fool. So, yeah, that's right.
Well, land patents can't, I mean, this process, we can put it in.
Well, I would like to see somebody challenge that in court, that you as a woman don't have the right to own land.
Right.
I'd like to see that challenged. I think somebody would. I'd hate to be the attorney who had to defend that one. Woo! He would be the talk of the town, that's for sure. I don't see how that could hold up under the law.
That cleared up because
Yeah, I know it's in Black's law, and I know there's a lot of stuff in Black's law, but you got to understand, laws change. Laws, like I said, women didn't used to be able to vote. You used to could own slaves in America. You can't own slaves. I mean, that's not in the law to do that. That's foolishness. Yes.
1828, Webster defines a patent as secured by patent or by law as an exclusive privilege.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. A lot of times we hear things that are not exactly correct too. But I've never seen anything in law that delineates only that the man could do it. Now, and in law, now let me say this. In law, man means mankind as well. It's the same word in a lot of instances. So it could say man and mean either gender. It's not gender specific in law. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand about law. When God wrote in the scriptures that He made man in His own image, didn't He make woman too? Now think about it. He calls a man all throughout the scripture, man. Okay.
Let me also add, if I may, for those of you that don't have all the resources or whatever, on the website that we've got, mastermortgagesaver.com, we do have reference material there such as Black's Law Dictionary, 2nd edition.
Yeah.
Also Bouvier's Law Dictionary.
I like
which you can
Bouvier's.
download, and it's free. And you don't have to buy anything to get it.
Yeah, and we will have the Republic Law Dictionary soon. It's in process right now.
What was his website?
You want to give that website again?
mastermortgagesaver.com.
mastermortgagesaver.com. Okay. All right, let's move on. Now this is the public notice of land patent. This is the way it reads. Very simple, to the point. I, the undersigned grantee and assignees, do hereby formally make public notice that we have acknowledged the below described deed, taken delivery, accepted the deed, taken possession of the land prescribed herein, and do in fact occupy said land. I/we, the grantee and assignees, have updated the land patent for this land and do hereby declare notice of our homestead of this land. Now, if you don't homestead that particular property, you need to modify that. Okay? Don't just do things generically without reading them and fixing that. Now, I'm not giving you license to change my legal wording, but make sure it matches what you're doing. Okay? I/we hold this land in fee simple by Bureau of Land Management land patent, including all our appurtenances and hereditaments. And what are appurtenances? Basically stuff on the land. Stuff on the land. And what are hereditaments? It's actually the right of inheritance. Basically, just given in a nutshell, that's what it means. It's more than that, but that's the basic term. Means that you have the rights by inheritance. To the best of my knowledge, there's no lawful claim against this land, and I believe there is no evidence to the contrary. If any party, man, corporation, or other, claims any interest in below described land, the party must come forward within 60 calendar days. Now, I put 90 in some of it. This is where we had a little conflict. I would probably change all of it to 90 days because, like I read to you in that case, that doesn't matter. Once it's initiated, it's done anyway. They can't challenge it anyway. So it doesn't matter if it's 60 days or 90 days. The day you file it, it's yours anyway. So I would probably change that to 90 days. Party must come forward within 90 calendar days and state your claim forever or hold your peace. Or forever hold your peace. Your claim must be lawfully documented by providing the wet ink signature documents that prove your claim against this land. Failure to state your claim within, change it to 90 calendar days from the date of the posting of this public notice will forever bar any and all claims. Failure to state a claim within 60 calendar days will be final judgment and by default an estoppel. Herein fail not, this notice will be posted in a conspicuous public place for no less than, and you need to find out what the posting for legal notices requirement is in your, that's why it's in red, so you'll change it and put the proper number of days. It might be 21, it might be 14, I don't know. Wherever you live, the clerk will tell you what the legal notification is for posting. Now, this does not have to stay posted for 90 days. It only has to stay posted in public for the number of days required. But you still have to give them the 90 days to come bring a claim.
So basically, let's say it's a 6-week posting is the requirement in your state. Is it 90 days from the end of the 6 weeks? Then?
No, it's from the day you post it. Really? From the beginning. Day one.
So basically, someone can come along and say they saw it on the last day of the 6th week.
It's fine.
It don't matter.
They still have up to 90 days from the day you posted that to challenge it. After that, they're done. And I would change that to 90 because, like I say, it doesn't matter if it's 60 or 90. They're not going to challenge it anyway. Can a bank challenge your land patent in court?
No.
What did we read this morning? I mean, I don't see how it's possible. And if you stand on that and show them in court where they can't, I think you're going to have a favorable outcome. I don't see how you can lose. And if they do, then I'm going to go hit the title company because they gave me bogus title. Somebody's going to lose here, and it ain't going to be me. So you got them. Once you understand these concepts, you got these people between a rock and a hard place. The legal description goes here. You've got the BLM land patent number in there. This is where the signatures go. Okay, you'll see it says print on one side and sign on the other. You sign what side? On the right side. Why? No, that's where the secured party signs on the right side of a contract. I got beat up over that lawsuit. We signed on the left side the other day. The people, I just got another letter some guy from North Carolina sent me a while ago. Just got it. He wants any kind of ties to that lawsuit for him to be, as a defendant, to be completely done away with. He don't want to be on that lawsuit because I did it wrong. I wonder how much law he has studied. I get this stuff all the time, man, every day. These people, they get these things in their head, and I forget what they call them, mind loops. That's what they used to call them, mind loops. You ever got a song stuck in your head? Or you can't get it out, it just plays over and over and over. It's on instant replay, you know?
Is that like stuck on stupid?
Yeah, they stuck on this patriot mythology. And they have never taken the time to go research it. And they're stuck on that stuff and they can't understand. I am a sovereign. I can go between both worlds. If I want to enter into their court and subject myself to their jurisdiction, that's exactly what I did. I did it on purpose. And I got a reason for doing that.
Well, they're still empowering the de facto with that way of thinking.
Absolutely. And I've tried to teach that stuff. And I don't know how to overcome it. I really don't. I've tried. Education don't work for some people. I guess that's why we still got Sasquatch out there somewhere. He just didn't evolve.
I just saw him the other day.
Yeah.
He was hanging out with Elvis, wasn't he?
Here we go. Let's don't go there, guys. Okay. And here's the jurat. All the jurats are basically the same. See how easy this is? Okay. Okay. The next document, and this is the final document in this series. It's real simple. You got 5 documents. And you see how easy the documents are to fill out. You don't have to do the research, folks. Of course, I want you to go study and research and verify what I'm telling you to be true in the law, because if you'll go read it, you'll understand that it's there. But these 5 documents is what you do. Some of you guys can do these documents in 15 minutes. I don't doubt that. I'm slow. It take me an hour. I'm slow when I am from Alabama, you know. But some of you guys, I bet, can do this in 15 minutes. Everything you need to do, put them in an envelope, mail them. You can do several sets of these a day without any problem. And you're going to be paid $250 to do them. If you can't do this and do well at it, then you don't want to work. And I've got a solution for those folks too. Now I remember my first Secretary of State, he said, "What are you going to do for all these people that don't want to work and want to live off the welfare system?" I said, "It's a very simple thing." I said, "Not for people that can't work, but people that don't want to work." I said, "Take them out of the gene pool." He said, "I hope you're not running for office." I said, "I'm not." It's a simple solution.
Part of our law form. You don't work, you don't need it.
I agree.
There's a biblical solution for that.
Yes, there is.
There'll be one that don't want to work, don't let him eat.
Yeah, I know it. I know. We have a lot of fun with that. I don't want to see anybody suffer, but I do think people, you know, people don't have any self-esteem or self-respect unless they are doing something productive. It's wrong what we've done to our society. Socializing a society destroys a society.
It does.
And you know, a person needs to feel productive to be happy. You can't be happy unless you are productive. And this is something we got to introduce to a generation of people. But at the same time, you know, we have a welfare system that was established to keep you on the treadmill. When you get on it, you can't get off of it. I know a lot of people out there that are very intelligent and hardworking got on the welfare system a few years ago and would like to get off, but they don't know how. You take a single mom, for instance, that's got 3 children, and all she has is a high school education, and all she can get is a minimum wage job. She can't even pay her daycare. She can't afford to pay for the clothes to go to a job, or buy a car, pay for the expense of a car to go to the job, and have somebody take care of her children and still live. She's caught in a trap. What we need to do is create jobs, and this is one of the things in the Republic we're going to do, is we're going to set up industries for people who are drawing welfare checks and let them learn a skill. And they're still going to get their check, but they're going to go to work every day. And we're going to have a daycare there so they can visit their children at break and at lunch. So they can actually see more of their children. And rather than going on to a regular job and seeing them in the evenings and in the mornings, they'll be able to see them throughout the day.
Let her start a family business that her children run it with her and take it over. When
And that's where we're going. Basically, what we want to do is educate them and train them and give them training opportunities while they're on the job. I mean, pay them a day a week to go to college. I mean, pay for them to go to college. As long as they meet the criteria and they have the desire, why not train them and get them a better paying job so they can be on their own and get off of welfare? And that's how you build a society. You don't do it by just doling money out to them. And there are those that can't work. We need to take better care of them.
Equip them with skills.
That's right.
But they do in the county and or the state. They told my stepdaughter, you should be working.
Yeah, I know.
Because she's having issues with that.
Exactly. Well, and
they told her not to work.
yeah, well, I know they do. And it's because they're trying to socialize our society. It's intentional. Okay, affidavit of notice and removal. I'll get off my soapbox. I get on it once in a while. Affidavit of notice of removal of patented land from tax rolls. Now this one your county is going to really like.
Wouldn't you love to be a fly on the wall when we get this?
Ooh, yeah, I tell you what, there'd be something to put on YouTube if you could video it. I wonder if we can put a transmitter of some sort, video transmitter in the envelope or box or something so we can catch it on tape. That might be something I'll get some of our electronics guys to look into. We might actually get a video, watch this expression. What? This crazy idiot patriot guy. Okay, well first of all, we'll put the date on it. Name and address of county tax collector. Full legal name and address from the real man. Dear, and I always start with dear because we're nice people. Dear county tax collector's name. Put his name in there. Anybody don't understand that? Okay. I actually have had several people fill out documents for us, and they would go in there and they would put the name in there and then they'd leave it in red. So turn it to black when you get through. No joke. I've had them send them to the U.S. Treasury and they would still have the red highlights on them. So make sure you turn it to black. Dear County, I bet they thought it was original. On data recording with the Republic Records Bureau, I/we, the grantee assignees, have acknowledged, and that's an Alabama word there too. That should say taken delivery. Accepted, I'll correct that. You could tell I was tired when I was doing that. Taken delivery, accepted, updated, and recorded in the public record land patent number, and that's where you put your land patent number from your land patent. By this notice and declaration of land patent and removal, you are hereby notified to lawfully remove the below described land from all tax rolls as is provided by law. I/we, as owners of said described land, hold land in fee simple by evidence of BLM land patent, certified copy enclosed, because you want to send a copy of that with it. I/we have taken lawful possession and do occupy said land as the only lawful owners. Please attach this notice to all land records as described in the legal description below. This notice does not infringe upon or deny any lawful rights of others who have lawful title to other lands included within this land patent. I/we only own the part as described in the legal description herein. Lawful public notice was given and no lawful claimants have brought forward any claims against this described land. I/we have judgment in estoppel. Please notify me/us at the above address if there are any outstanding fees due. I/we will settle the account. Please send any tax payments that are due the owner to me at that same address. And as I said before, they collect the taxes for the owner. Okay, so they're holding your money. So tell them you want it back. That means that you have already done the public notice, nobody came forward with a claim, and so they can never claim against it. You're done.
The stop is because of your inaction, that you are stopped proceeding with any other.
Because you defaulted, basically, because you didn't bring forth a lawful action or lawful claim, then you are forever barred from bringing forth a claim. After that 90 days is over, they can't anyway. They can't do it anyway. But after the 90 days, they certainly can't do it because you're letting them know that this is the time. If you think you have a claim, you need to bring it forward. And they can't. Now, what are you going to do? If the bank sends you a stupid letter, and they will probably, when we have a claim against this property, tell them prove it. Okay, let's go to the federal district court and prove your claim. It's not going to go very far, but they're going to try. They're going to see if they can, we call it a boo game. It's a bluff, like a poker bluff.
When does this go into effect then, when you sent your letter in as far as taking off the tax roll?
Well, you have to wait until after your 90 days is up to do this part. Okay?
If that happens, say, I had this by May,
Mm-hmm.
would that stop, would that allow me to stop paying taxes?
Yes.
So
Not only stop paying taxes, that means that the codes and ordinances don't apply to you anymore either.
So even though I have a tax notice for this year,
Mm-hmm.
due, say, in May and October.
Go ahead and get this done next week, and you can publish your notice, and if they don't bring the claim forward, then you don't owe anything. Because they've got to bring the claim.
So you just ignore the tax notice?
No, we don't ignore it. I'll show you what that's next.
Sorry to jump.
Yeah, we don't ignore anything. We deal with it. Okay. These are legal references that are in there. The patent carries the fee and is best known title to a court of law and is settled doctrine of the court, Marshall versus Ladd. Now, what does settled doctrine of the court mean? And it's been decided, it's permanent, and it ain't going to change. That's what settled doctrine of the court means. It has been, they've heard it so many times and don't even want to hear it anymore. That's the reason that the law says they can't challenge it, because the court won't hear it. That's why you can't attack a land patent. If it's done properly, the only thing, as I said, they can attack it on a fraud. If you didn't have a deed and you just went and made up a deed and patented a piece of property, they could attack that on fraud. But if you've got a lawful deed that was conveyed to you properly and you do the land patent, there is no collateral attack that can be brought against it. So the rest of this is just a formality. Give them the 90 days, that's a formality. Because once you get this on public record, and once you publish that public notice, it's a done deal. There's nobody can issue a claim. Certainly a bank can't, because they can't meet the qualifications to do it. They can't even do it in statutes or codes, much less law. And that's a much higher form is law. And that's what you're using. A patent is the highest evidence of title and is conclusive against the government and all claiming under junior title, until it is set aside by some judicial tribunal. Okay, what does it say on the top one? It's settled doctrine of the court. They're not going to have a judicial tribunal, because it's already settled. Issuance of a government patent granting title to land is the most accredited type of conveyance known to our land. That's U.S. versus Creek Nation. Land cannot be taxed if a patent is current. I/we are not a tenant. I am the lawful owner of said land with the highest possible form of title. I here revoke any and all power of attorneys and withdraw any and all of my or our consent for the described land to be taxed for cause. That cause is your failure to offer full disclosure. Any and all representatives, agents, representatives, contractors, or the like who interfere, block, inhibit, delay, or otherwise hinder this lawful process will be in violation of state and federal laws. Failure to perform this lawful duty will result in result in personal as well as civil and criminal liability in federal district court for all representatives who involve themselves. I reserve all rights at all times and surrender none. And I'm such a nice guy.
Get the attention.
If they've got any sense at all, they better get their attention, because this could be a career ender for people in the county. It's really that serious.
You need to change the date on that last one there. Nobody's going to be able to get it done today.
Yeah, y'all need, that's why it's in red. Pay attention. And y'all make sure, I'll change it on the format, the 90 days in that document before. Okay, those are the 5 documents. That's all you do. Now, if you get a tax notice after you've put this in, I mean, give them a little time, because it's going to kind of, let them get up off the floor and collect themselves first before you attack them. When you have a little time to digest this and check it out, because they're going to send it to the attorney, and he's going to start his yapping. And I told you about what yapping gets you. Not much. But anyway, the bottom line is they're going to try to, the first thing they're going to try to do is deceive you. They're going to try to convince you, you're listening to this crazy patriot mythology. And then send them the copy of the 100 and so court cases that I gave you. And say, is this patriot mythology, Supreme Court cases and district court cases and county court cases? And they'll probably just be glad to just fade away and leave you alone and remove your, they'll probably remove you from the tax rolls and not tell anybody. Because they can't win this fight. They cannot win this fight. There's no way to win it. They're boxed in and they have nowhere to go. In law, they can't win this fight. It's impossible. If they deny your title, the only way they can deny your title if your deed is not good, and if your deed is not good, then the title company is responsible, aren't they?
Yes.
They can't win. Either way, you're going to win. Doesn't matter which direction they go. You got the gate closed. They can't get out. They're corralled up and they're stuck. There's no way out. So,
They're going to try to buck and kick. Just got them corralled up.
yeah, they're going to do it, and they're going to bruise themselves up, because they're not going to get anywhere.
What's your name? Tim, you're in the middle of the sentence. If they send you a tax notice after this?
I'll show you. That's what I'm going to now. Yeah, I do that. That's what they, well, I ain't going to say in public what they call that. Senior moments, some people call them. Yeah, CRS. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So that, if you get a tax bill, this is what you do. Anybody ever heard about my deficient stamp? I have more fun with that thing. I got me a big. I used to aggravate lawyers a lot. I enjoyed it. It was a pastime of mine. I went and one time got me a big old stamp about this long and about that wide, and it said deficient, big red deficient stamp. And they'd send out lawsuits to friends of mine from time to time, people I met across the country, and I got them to make these deficient stamps, some of them, and they'd get a lawsuit and they just open it up and stamp deficient on every page and put it in an envelope and mail it back. Well, what they didn't understand about lawyers is most of this stuff is what we call fishing letters. They just cast in the bait, see if you'll take it. What they're hoping you'll do is go down there and take the bait, and then they'll reel you in, and they'll get their buddy that you go hire an attorney, they'll get him to help reel you in too, because they'll work together on it. And so what I would do is stamp them deficient, and you would be surprised at the lawsuits that just absolutely were dismissed because of that. They just didn't even pursue them, because there wasn't that much money in them, and they didn't know what we knew And wasn't sure, but they knew it was going to cost them money to find out. And they weren't sure if they were going to have enough margin there to make any money on these little, like $25,000, $50,000 lawsuits. I've had lots of them dismissed just by doing that. They didn't even respond anymore. It's funny as heck. They were just seeing if somebody would come to the table and let them sue them. I mean, take their money. And so we've done that a number of times. But one surprised me. I had one old guy. He was a retired Coast Guard officer, and his daughter was babysitting. She lived with him, and he was in his 80s. He was elderly and had a lot of problems. And his daughter and his son-in-law lived with him, and she watched children. Well, he had a nice motorhome in the backyard, and he had it in a chain link fence locked, a regular 4-foot chain link fence. And they had a little 12-year-old boy that the mother dropped off for him to watch one afternoon, and she told him, "Don't go out there and mess with that motorhome." He had a cover over it, and it was locked inside this chain link fence. Well, that's like trying to keep a dog out of a pork chop, away from a pork chop. Tell the 12-year-old that. So he got up there and climbed up on top of the motorhome. He fell off and broke his leg, and the people sued the daughter. Well, the daughter lived there, so they sued him too, because it was his residence, for $300,000. And they brought me the lawsuit, and he was all worried. He was about in tears. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm 80-something years old, and my health is not good. And if they take $300,000, I lose everything I got. And so I told him, I said, well, let's have some fun with it. I said, y'all taking things way too serious. And so we took it and we stamped that thing to fish and mailed it back. And you know, they canceled the lawsuit. I don't know what they thought. It worked. He thought I was a hero to the day he died. I don't know why in the world he canceled it. But anyway, we had a lot of fun and stuff. Yeah, so y'all got to learn to take stuff not so seriously. Y'all got to learn to have fun. I have learned to have a ball. I go in there and play with these clerks and stuff in the court. Sometimes I have the biggest fun that you ever saw. I'm always nice. You say nice things to them like, you know, I believe that you've lost a little weight. And then you go, so, no, turn around, I believe I found it. No, I told you I'm really nice. I'm always nice and complimentary. You got to learn to have fun.
You're lucky you didn't get slapped.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a notice of deficient tax notice. All right. Y'all settle down. Y'all quit acting up. I told you we were going to have fun. Okay, you got to put the name and address on there. And always use dear, because we want to be friendly. We're friendly people. On this date, I received a tax bill statement from your office that indicates that I owe property taxes on my land. On or about this date, I previously notified your office that my land has been conveyed by lawful land patent from the Federal Bureau of Land Management and must be removed from the county tax rolls according to state and federal laws. I included a certified copy of my land patent from the BLM for your records. Please make this correction in your records and notify me in writing that it has been done. Thank you for your assistance in this matter.
Goodbye.
What are they going to do? Send you another tax bill? Send them another letter.
Do you do these certified or registered?
Oh, yes. I do almost everything. I do registered mail. What you got to understand about mail, mail is very particular. And we're going to show you how to do certified mail for this stuff that we're doing here. But if I'm in a real tight spot with somebody, I do registered mail. Why do I do that?
It's a legal delivery.
There's three reasons. Three reasons.
International law.
It's international law. Takes it out from under the authority of the United States. I've got a lady that's walking around free right now that was indicted 3 times for mail fraud. She I told her, I said, make absolutely sure that you send everything registered. And she did. Went before the grand jury. She requested an audience with the grand jury to make her case. They allowed it. She went in there and she took the the mail manual from the UPU, Universal Postal Union, which registered mail is under their authority. I think it was 256 pages, and she went through it and she highlighted, and she served a copy on every single member of the grand jury. And she went in and opened the mail manual up, and where it said that registered mail is under the international jurisdiction of the UPU. Case closed. The grand jury said, y'all don't have any, told the district attorney or state's attorney or U.S. attorney, said, you don't have authority to pursue this case. You don't have standing. Dismissed the case.
Right.
Did that 3 times. Yes.
A couple of years ago, I sent a registered letter to Hennepin County Licensing, and they absolutely, totally, straight up refused to sign it.
Oh yeah, they don't like registered. It changes the jurisdiction and venue on them, and they don't like to get caught in that trap. They do understand that.
So then what?
The other well, it doesn't matter if they do anything with it or not. If you've got record that it was sent, you have record it was delivered. It is the same as being recorded in the state in the record.
You don't sign for it. You don't have record.
Don't matter. Yeah, the post office shows where it was delivered. Where they sign it. Yeah, they will show where it was delivered, the date and time it was delivered to that office.
And even though I send a registered mail, I also go online and print down. I put all of it. I have 3 or 4 everything showing it.
Right.
So I got it.
The second thing that it does, it gives you the right. It gives you a right to a trial by jury if you put $21 as the value on the receipt. And what was the third thing?
Well, you want to do $21 in stamps on it, so you can.
Oh yeah, the third thing is if you do it by registered mail, it's the same as being recorded.
Right.
If you've got the proof that you did it, it's the same as being recorded.
And put stamps, no meter mail.
No meter, just only stamps. Why stamps?
It's actual currency.
It's equal to currency. Did you know, and I can take you in the law and show you this, that canceled stamps are equal to the U.S. currency in the face amount? Yep. So if you've got a dollar stamp, it's equal to a Federal Reserve note, even though it's been canceled. I've threatened several times to take some canceled stamps and deposit them in my bank account and see what they do, just for the heck of it. But I can show you the law, it says it. Yes, sir.
If I sent those documents to the county again for acceptance, and I did,
Yeah.
would that be the same as being recorded?
Yes, it will. Absolutely. And you can prove it in a court. It'll be upheld in court. Okay. That's a very simple document. Very simple to do. Need to always use the notary. If you got a Republic notary, that's fine. If not, you can use our notaries. I mean, other notaries on this kind of stuff. But you need to make sure. Now, those are the documents that we have for this. This is a very simple process, as I've told you. There's only 6 documents total, and you only use 5 of them unless you get a tax notice. Then you use the 6th one. Okay, and if you'll look at the little thing that I handed out to you here, it says Land Patent Processors Checklist. It shows you the order they go in. Beginning on the first one is on top, and in succession, just like this, is the way it does. Now, this form, the form I just showed you, is not on this list because it's an optional form. You may not need it. So you don't automatically do that form. And you got 5 forms. All of them are formatted. You just saw all 5 of them. Now you see how simple, but yet how powerful they are. It's got the references.
As a preparer, we wouldn't fill out the one that they sent in the bill, because that might not be till next year or 2 years.
Yeah, you would give this to the homeowner, and they would actually do that. You don't need to do that anyway.
So you just give them the
You would give that to the homeowner because you don't need to do that.
Okay.
That's up to them, but you might have to explain to them how to do it. That's why you need to know how to do it. But that's up to the homeowner to do that.
And who would they make a check out to when they pay their $580?
You'll have to call that number I gave you, Tom, and see how he wants to handle that. That's his department. I don't know anything about that. I don't deal with that part of it, except he's setting that end of it up for us. So you have to call him, and that's the number he said to call. Okay? And he will get that done. We will have the bonding company information online for you, where you can get an application to be bonded if you want to become a notary. We will also have the instructions. Watch Freedom Yell for the instructions for the notary process. What you will do, you will have an application. You will have to have that application. With that application, you will need some form of ID, photo ID. You just copy it, and you'll be able to send this, fax this to, or email it or whatever, however Wade sets it up. He will tell you, I will get a number for you on Freedom Yell for you to contact him, and he will set up a time and a date for you to come on. And once you get your application and your fee, and I don't know what the fee is, he's supposed to send it to me this morning, but I don't know if he's done it yet or not, but it's not going to be very much. But and he will send you that along with the information on where to get your seal made. These people already have the Republic seal, the real one, that for your notary, and you will be a notary public under the Republic. We have the official seal already.
Is this going to be a national notary?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
And we're going to have state notaries too when the Secretary of States and the states get ready. Then they're going to, but everything, the notaries all work through the same source. They all come through the national. Okay, that's the way they do in the states already. That's why we can do apostilles, because if they don't come through the national government, then we can't, as a national government, give an apostille from the Secretary of State to somebody in a state. Okay, unless they come through that way, and then everybody's on the same page. Now, the states can make notaries, but they have to do it through the union system that's set up. Okay, that way they have not only they can do a state apostille, they can do a national apostille too, and that's good information to have. The apostilles are ready. The notary process is ready. The applications, we will actually, I'm going to get Wade to send them to us, and we'll put them on Freedom Yell where you can just download it and fill it out and send it to, the information will be there where you send it. And then when he gets the applications and the fees and everything, he will set you up an appointment to be sworn in. But he's going to have those things, and all that information will be on Freedom Yell, what you will need to send. And so, and then you do that. And you need to get on this process. You need to get it done soon, because we need to get this thing rolling.
Should we have other people that aren't with us become notaries too?
Absolutely. I hope all of y'all will do it. We're wanting to make as many notaries as we can across the country, because we need a bunch of them. We're going to be a nation. We've got to do it right.
And we are authorized now, once we've completed this process here, to train other people in our area?
You have to go through Tom Chapman and be authorized by him to do it.
Okay.
Tom has to give you the authorization to train others. I'm sure that he will, but he's going to want to know that you're capable of training. So I don't know what he's going to do as far as proving that. I've talked to him about that already, and he said he's got to figure out how to, not everybody can teach. Obviously, you've taught for years, and then many of you in here can, but not everybody can teach. And we don't want people out there that don't have the understanding, full understanding of what we're doing here. We've got to, for the first time in the history of the movement, this patriot movement, we're organizing an army. And it's not an army of guns and violence, it's an army of peace, but it's an army of law. And this is being organized all over the country, and we're going to have thousands of us. What can thousands of us train in processes like this do? When we're all doing the same thing, it's all lawfully backed, what can we accomplish? Yes?
Who will be swearing us in?
The Secretary of State.
So we'll do it.
Yeah, he can do it through a conference call.
Okay.
That way that everybody can be sworn in at once. And what he will do, he will send you a number. Okay? When you put in your application, he will give you back an application number. That way he can identify who you are. Nobody will have that number but you. Don't give it to anybody else either. And then when you go to get sworn in, you're going to have that number when you log in, or you won't get sworn in. And so he'll document on his end that you were on the call. Yes?
So the question, what Bruce was talking about, going out and teaching, I think that when you ought to, before you go out and teach this, that you need to make one, you need to get this process through.
That's what Tom suggested too, that he wouldn't feel comfortable anybody teaching until they did the process for themselves.
Sure.
And I think that's fair.
If you go out there and teach this and you haven't done it all the way through, you haven't gotten your all the way through,
okay.
You're not going to, I wouldn't feel comfortable teaching it and that knowing that I hadn't.
Exactly.
I can't just walk up and say, looky here, here's my final process right here.
Right.
Guess what? And then once you do that,
Well, I'm guilty. I haven't done it yet, but the only reason I have not done it is because you guys won't give me a day off. But when I get a day, I understand. I'm just having fun.
Well, you can take 2 hours off.
Okay. If I sit down, I'll go to sleep probably.
That'll be at least April then, 90 days, right?
Me? No. Once you do it, you don't worry about the 90 days. It's irrelevant. Once you do the process, there's nobody can challenge it anyway.
That's right.
It's done. It didn't. I read it to you. It says once it is initiated, it's done.
So the 90 days is a formality.
That's just a formality, but it's a legal formality to give anybody an opportunity. What we're doing is we're actually doing a default judgment, estoppel, and on any other parties by doing that. That's how it works. And that's the reason we do it. They're shutting the door on.
We leaving the day with these forms?
I don't know if we'll have them loaded or not, but we'll see. I'll see if we can get them loaded and get them on a CD for you. Are there any questions? I told you this stuff was simple. Yes, sir.
Back taxes are responsible to the landowner before it's patented?
Yes. Yes. Tim Pledger is, if you show up as the owner, any taxes that they have collected, they belong to you. So if you owe back taxes, who are they going to get them from? You're the owner. They owe them to you anyway. Kind of an issue there for them, isn't it? Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Okay. Marie?
What is the one that's in court in Utah? What is that about? How did that?
It's a land patent issue. The U.S. Marshals moved them out of their house, and we filed an action in federal court, helped them do that. The judge and myself did that.
They had their land patent and they moved them out?
No, they didn't have any. All they had was a deed.
Okay.
It was a foreclosure thing, and the U.S. Marshals came and moved them out because there was an IRS issue as well, foreclosure IRS issue, which is common, and they moved them out. Even though the judge, but see, they went to court, and they never proved the claim. The judge let them move on without proof of claim. Well, he's not going to be a happy camper when this is over, and so they've done the patent process now, and they were the first one that did it, this new process. Wow. And this is what I was telling you, when we filed the action, they actually put their land patent, they already had their patent. Okay. They had heard about the process but didn't know how to do it. And they hadn't been to a class or anything, they were in a jam. I taught them on the telephone.
Wow.
And they actually went down there, we spent several hours back and forth on the telephone over a couple of weeks' time, and they went down there and filed it Tuesday, and the judge went, I recused myself.
That's the one that recused himself.
Yeah, he got out of Dodge quick. Phil?
What is this going to kind of be kind of interesting? I don't even know how to phrase this, but for us that are in ministry that have 501c3s, when we complete this process now, it's going to be a little interesting, isn't it? When they come
Well, you don't need a 501c3 when you own everything. You don't have anything to protect.
So you can just cancel it out?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a corporation anyway.
Yeah, just close the corporation and liquidate the assets by law, lawful means, use whatever law. Because if you're under 501c3, you're bound under a tax code.
What are we going to do in the Republic as far as that type of an entity? Will it be?
We're debating over that, whether to do an ecclesiastical trust or a 508. We don't know what it's probably not going to be a 508. We're not going to apply to corporation for anything. But we're in debate over exactly how to do that. I'm not sure we need to be anything. We are in law, we are a corporation already, but it's not a legal corporation, it's a lawful corporation. There's a lot of difference between the two. The legal or lawful definition of a corporation is two or more people working together for a common cause.
Sure.
They don't have to have, I mean, why do we need to be certified or by some or other lesser entity than ourselves? You know, we have the right under God and dominion under God to do it, and I don't know that we need to do it. So that's one of the issues I'm having with the judge. He wants, well, we need to go register. I said, with who? Well, see, he's still in that de facto mindset in a way, and but he's trying to learn, and bless his heart, I'm trying to help him. And
You tell
He's a good guy.
You'd let the president know that he's certified now?
Yeah, I'd already certified him, yeah. We've had more fun with that. He's a very brilliant man. Absolutely.
It's kind of a convoluted situation, but in Tennessee, I'm aware of a fellow who put his house into a corporation trying to prevent foreclosure. And it ended up, he somehow lost the property anyway, that the corporate structure and that didn't protect him. Now, if he had a deed, he can dissolve that corporation and then go as if nothing ever happened, working off that deed, am I correct?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay. And that's what I believe he should do, just
dissolve.
Dissolve the corporation.
You're in charge.
As long as he owns the corporation.
Yes, right. You got to do it lawfully. Anytime you violate these contracts, you've got to do it lawfully. You can't just make up the law as you go along like some folks want to do. Like Texas wants to do.
Speaking of, Your Honor.
Did you get a little reading enjoyment, pleasure out of it?
I was amazed to find out that Texas grand jury is the most rampant government in Texas and the most powerful court in the nation.
Yeah, I know. I was amazed too.
Powerful then.
More powerful than any state court or federal court.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But they said it was nil and dissent in Texas. So what? We don't care about Texas. We really care about the state of Texas in union with the Republic of the United States.
Different. That's right. Okay. Yes, sir.
Talking about corporations and so forth, so, or churches, we have an educational, I guess it's a charitable trust.
Yes.
So, but that would have to be then put under a certain flesh and blood human being's name, title to that person?
If you're going to deed land to that church, you need to put it in somebody's name.
Right, and then you'd be able to do the land tap.
Yes, yes. Yes, you can't an organization or a corporation can't patent land. That's only sovereign to sovereign. And corporations, businesses, and those type things, trusts are not sovereigns. The only living, breathing people, men and women, can be sovereigns, not people. That's a bad word too.
Question, the 501(c), was that understood of the original Constitution?
I'm not sure. I don't think a 501(c)(3) even existed in those days. But they did have corporations back then. Yeah, the 501(c)(3) is just a trick anyway. If you'll go on into the Title 26 and Section 508 and read about it, churches are immune from taxes. Churches are church organizations. So when an attorney tells you you can't give a tax deductible receipt unless you're a 501(c)(3), he just lied.
You sure did.
Because it says right in 508 that you are tax deductible. And that you can issue tax deductible receipts for a 508, which is a much higher position. It's tax immune, not tax exempt. So you don't need to be a 501(c)(3). I would never have a 501(c)(3).
It's an exception.
It is an exception. The other is immunity. That means it's more powerful. Now, what I want to do is take a break for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to bring Tim. Tim's going to go over a couple of things with you about the checklist for the owner, so you'll understand that. And we're going to go over the mailing. He's going to show you how to properly fill out a certified mail receipt, show you an envelope like it's supposed to be. And so everybody will know. Most of you probably already know how to do it, but we want to make sure everybody does. Okay, because it's important for people to know that. All right, take 10 minutes and he'll be back with you.
Tim, I've done lots of mailings to the IRS and to Social Security and various government things. I've only used certified, but I've done certified with certificate of service.
Okay.
But that's it's a third party.
Right.
Right. So, but that still is not as powerful as the registered.
No. No, it's not. Registered is international law.
Okay, I get that.
So the United States has no jurisdiction or authority over it. Whatever it is, the power of it supersedes their power.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I heard that Dinar has officially revalued.
I heard that.
And so what's your recommendation then at this point? I didn't want to do anything with it until the Republic's Bank was up and running. But one of the gentlemen in the back room said that we need to do it immediately
If I
because
did-
Iraq is so unstable.
If